Okay, the next components we're going to look at is alerts. Alerts are very common on a dashboard. Okay, they are used to alert the users to call their attention to a particular item, such as profit margin. Okay, which can be a very important key performance indicator to a manager. And as you can also see that the profit margin actually is color coded. Okay, we have 3 different colors that represent different levels of profit margin. And normally we follow the common sense approach. For instance, green is good, and then yellow is warming, and then red is bad. Okay, so in this particular example, then if our dial is in the green area, then we are okay. Okay, so we don't have to pay too much attention to profit margin if that's the case. So how do we define alerts in our dashboard? Shown on the next slide is pretty straightforward actually. Okay, first you need to enable alerts at the top of the screen there, and then you need to also decide how to define the alert. You can define alert as a percentage or as a value. Okay, as a percent of some criterion. Okay, like percent of maximum value of profit margin and so on. Then in the middle, you see you will define the alert levels and colors. Again, in most cases, we want to use red as bad, and then green is good. And then finally, at the bottom, you will define whether high values are good or low values are good. Okay. And for profit margin, of course, the higher the better. All right, the next component I'm going to look at is selector components. They are also very popular, and as the name implies, they allow the user to make a selection, okay, to see different data. And selection can be made through various components such as radio button, combo box, accordion menu, and so on. Okay, as explained here, those are the common ones, but you have many more choices as see on the right hand side that you can pick and choose. An example shown here is a combo box selector. Okay, so this in fact is your dashboard assignment. You will do something similar. You will use a selector, a combo box selector, to allow the user to select different countries. Okay, so if they select Germany, for instance, the bar chart will show German data, and if they select USA, then the bar chart will change to USA data accordingly. Okay, so pretty straightforward component that allows user to see different data through a selection mechanism. Then how do we build a selector in our dashboard? A few key concepts here. One is a data source. Second is a data destination. Okay, and as the name implies, a data source indicates the source of data. Okay, where do our data come from? And then data destination basically means where should data be sent to once the user makes a selection. Okay, in this example, the example you just saw, the data destination will be the range that was defined for the bar chart earlier. Okay, because your bar chart needs to have some data to show the bars. So the data for the bar chart is the data destination for the selection. We also have several insertion types, like the first one, row/column, which means basically we select and then we display everything in the data destination area. On the other hand, a filter rows means that only portions of the data source will be displayed in the data destination. Okay, which, by the way, is the one you'll be using for your assignment, which is illustrated on the next slide. For instance, if the user selects Germany again, then from the source, only German cells will be copied over to the destination area. Okay, so that's a filter selection. Okay, let's talk about the layout a little bit next. To make the dashboard looks nice and professional, we can incorporate a variety of art and background components, logos, images, graphics, and so on. Okay, you can import any images that you might have created before. And we can also select different themes, and some examples are shown on the next slide here. Kind of like PowerPoint presentations, we can also select different themes for our presentations. Finally, the case study is a sales dashboard that you will create using the description and the data that will be provided. The case study is sales dashboard, and the data file is sales_dashboard.xls, which is an Excel data file that you will use